Okay, so here's Force 10. There are two difficulties with nailing this song. The first is that there are lots of sequence patterns and triggers, etc. on Hold Your Fire album that bury the drum sounds in parts. So some of my cymbal hits are actually questionable because the other stuff is so prominent and sort of noisy. I've done my best to hit all the horn blasts and other cacophonous stuff, so don't rag on me for deviating somewhat. The second thing is to master the left-hand accent. Neil uses it all over the place in this song, and other than that, it's pretty straightforward in terms of a Rush tune. Okay, so to open up, I basically mimicked the jackhammer sound with my floor tom and china. This leads into a little snare work that requires a light touch with your right hand, riding with the left hand accenting on the 2 and 4. The most difficult part of this section is hitting the cymbals at the right time, concert with the bass. This leads into the last set of cymbal crashes into the first verse beginning Tough Times, where you're now relegated to a slow ride pattern for a couple of bars before an almost blasted snare roll to lead into the main beat. This roll needs to be very fast but crisp and even to ensure the beat sounds in time. So the beat now itself is pretty basic. It's important to keep the hi-hat closed fairly tightly and really get a good, consistent snare sound. Here's where the fills get a little bit muddy from the synths and things like that. I did my best to just get the cymbal hits in the right place. For instance, things like that. And even Alex's guitar is really, really high-pitched. So now, at this time, we see the second instance of what I was talking about with the left-hand accents. This time on the hi-hat. As the song progresses, Neil uses this more and more.
Look out for the force without form. Look around at sight and sound. Look in, look out, look around.
So then we go back into the original beat of the song. And this time the snare really is blasted back into the beat. So now we're back onto a simple beat that leads into probably one of the most interesting parts of Neil's ability to play intricate patterns between his right foot and left hand. This one upcoming builds a spectacular excitement as it leads into another fast snare right here. After Geddy sings an air of joie de vivre, there's a little synth dwelling right here. I'm basically playing what Neil plays in concert, and I do it left-handed just to give myself a challenge. There's some more fills, and we're back into the hi-hat with the left hand. This time with 2 splashes and 2 on the foot.
Look into the eye of the storm. Look out for the force without form. Look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look out, look around.
So now we lead back into the initial rolling, marchy snare beat with Geddy's dominating bass and Alex's ethereal guitar, building up into a crescendo and a well-timed snare and tom-tom roll. That leads into a unison part with Ged's bass and my china foot patterns. And again, the similar slow ride for a very short period, and then into the final section. So here's your left hand getting a real workout. We're in the lead up to the ending of the song. You're playing a 6-note pattern with the accents on 6 with your left hand on the snare drum. Immediately you have to also start counting the repetitions because it's divided into sections without crashes, with crashes, without feet, etc. For those of you interested, the order is 1 with no foot or crash, 2 with foot, no crash, 1 with foot and crash, 1 with foot, no crash, 1 with foot and crash, 1 with no foot or crash, 2 with foot, no crash, 1 with foot and crash, 1 with foot, no crash, 1 with foot and crash.
force without form. Look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look the storm in the eye. Look out to the sea and the sky. Look around at the sight and sound. Look in, look out, look
Okay, so
around.
here where we lead at the end of the song, just playing sort of a interrupted ride pattern with various fills, just following the bass, following the synths, and then again ending in with the simulated jackhammer with the floor tom.